What's going on, everybody? This is M.A.C.J, and I'm coming to you all with another video about my review on the PreSonus Audiobox USB. So let me share a little bit of the PreSonus Audiobox and what it is. Alright, so first off, this video is not sponsored by any of these companies, alright? I'm just letting that be known. But anywho, a little bit about the PreSonus Audiobox USB. So this is a audio / MIDI audio interface. So it also can transmit both in and out for MIDI. Right here, your in and your out. USB, you know, it's a USB audio interface. You have your outputs, your main outputs, the left and the right, and then you have your headphone port right here. All right, so this is the back panel, which is weird. Why would I start with the back panel, right? So that's the back panel, and then we carry it on over to the front panel. And we see, you know, some functionalities in the front. All right. So let's start off with the inputs. What type of inputs do we have? We have two inputs. They're both versatile, XLRs or 1/4 inch. So yes, you can plug any one of those two cables in these two ports. So as we move over here, I gotta look at it. So you have your first two knobs right here. One, two. This controls the input, the level input for your first input, and then same thing for the second input. Same functions. They're like your leveling for your record leveling. And then you have two indicators right here that shows if, you know, the audio that's being received into the box is too loud from whatever source. So that's always a great indicator. Then you got the 40-volt phantom power, and you have the mixer. You have the mixer knob right here that can change between the inputs and the playback. So basically the inputs is what's coming in directly into the audio interface. This is what you're hearing, you know, straight from the audio box. But if you were to, you know, switch that level over to playback, wherever you have this audio interface plugged up to, it'll play the audio from that source. So like if you had your USB plugged into your computer and you change your audio output settings on your computer to the PreSonus Audiobox, then your audio box is now your new monitor system for your laptop or computer, whichever one you plugged it up to. And playback right here will play back. It's pretty much what it's saying. It'll play back everything that's coming from your computer. And yeah, so this is and what you would use mostly, you know, when you're recording into your DAWs and stuff. You want to hear what it is that's coming from the software. So yeah, that's the function of that. That's the mixer portion. All right, and then we move on to the what is this? The headphones knob and the main knob, which I think this is a huge advantage for the PreSonus Audiobox, because there's two separate outputs, and I know for me that's something that I will want if I'm running, if I have headphones and then I also have like a pair of studio monitors. I don't really want all of them to be tied in together onto one output source, right? I wanted to, because I might want to switch. I might want to hear it, you know, I might want to hear it coming from some other source, or better case scenario, if someone's recording, right? If they want to have their headphone level up then you can change that without affecting the main outputs, which I think is a huge benefit for an audio interface to have. Two separate output sources. All right. And yeah, I probably already mentioned it before in the beginning of the video, but it also has your in and out for MIDI, so you can plug in your workstation or whatever keyboard and you know, transmit your MIDI data from the DAW, you know, and whatever. So yeah, this is pretty much an all-in-one box that's compacted, and it's very useful. I've actually used this a few times in a couple of recording sessions, and the result has came out pretty clean. There were no latency problems. The audio was good. Yeah, so I don't really have any big complaints on it. So I would say this is a very good box. All right, yeah. So the PreSonus Audiobox, again, I'm not sponsored by any of these companies, you know. Yeah. Okay, so final portion of the video. The PreSonus Audiobox versus the Lexicon Lambda. All right. Which would I go with? Now, granted, I have been using this for quite some time now, you know, and I still do use it. But if I had a choice, if I had to initially buy an audio interface, which one would I go with? And I'm putting these two, right? I'm stuck with these two choices, right? So which one of these two would I choose? So let's weigh down the options that are going to be beneficial for music production when it comes to music production. All right. So both of these pretty much do the same things. But you know, one thing has something that the other doesn't, and vice versa, right? And with that is, so the Lexicon Lambda has for your inputs, you also have inserts where you can plug up whatever filter device or whatever device that has some kind of effects. You can plug that into, and that'll be with your input channel, whichever input channel you have it for, right? Pretty much everything else on the Lexicon Lambda, like the in and out MIDI, the USB, main outputs, XLRs, and then you have your 1/4 inch inputs. You actually also have an extra input right here, right? And I think that also goes to channel 1, and then you have a headphone port right here. Okay, so not only, you know, the Lambda has the insert ports, but you also have an extra input. Okay, the only disadvantage with the Lexicon Lambda is that the headphone port and the output, the main output mix, are all tied under one. And I see that as a big disadvantage, because when I'm recording, and I'm not really sure if this is even made to be used for whatever I'm intending to use it for, you know, to have someone record it and I'm engineering it from the other side, you know. I'm not sure if this was supposed to be used for that, but I see this as a disadvantage. All of the output sources are contained under one, which is this output level on this interface, which I see it is, you know, that's the only thing that I wish wasn't the case on this thing. I wish it was more output functionality on here. But yeah, so that's the disadvantage on this. One disadvantage, or one takeaway from the PreSonus Audiobox, is that it doesn't have the insert ports like the Lexicon Lambda does. But honestly, I don't really see that as a big breaker, because all of which you're going to really need, the core thing that you're going to need, is compacted in this box. And they have the functionalities that's going to be useful. So I think overall, you know, this box has the core thing down. So initially, if I hadn't already gotten the Lexicon, I probably would have went with the PreSonus PreSonus Audiobox USB audio interface. Again, I haven't had any problems with it. You know, everything runs smooth. So yeah, Now, I'm not down in either of these interfaces. They're both still good. They both, you know, have zero latency problems. They're both, you know, they're both pretty useful. This one, you know, with you know, one thing is it's always products like this, you know, where one thing has something over the other and then vice versa, you know. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to what the user wants and what the user expects out of something, you know. So this is my take on the audio interface, and you guys will also hear some of the work that I've done with the PreSonus Audiobox interface. I've used this a lot for my dad's recordings, and this thing has done its part. So yeah, so stay tuned. I'll definitely be keeping you guys up to date on, you know, when you guys can hear some of the results that came from this box. And yeah, but that's going to conclude this video. If you all enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe, share it, and yeah, if you're looking for any type of service, whether that's music editing production, video editing production, or photo editing production, please be sure to check out M.A.C.J Productions. That's going to be linked in the descriptions. Also, be sure to check out M.A.C.J Apparel's website. We've added some new things on the website, the Win collection, and then we've also added the Explore, Create, and Be Inspired shirts for M.A.C.J series. So be sure to check out M.A.C.J Apparel's website. Also check out M.A.C.J Series Sound, which is my sound designer company, and we've just released another product, the Tonic 2 sound library and mainstays template. It's a full set library with over 200 sounds, and there's a song demo on the library, so be sure to check that out. I'll leave that in the description below. But that's going to be all, and you guys take it easy.